Welcome back, everybody, to Season 9 of the Micro Vlogcast. We have a special guest who's never been on the show before.
Stop it. How's it going?
Mike.
How you doing?
Are you nervous?
I'm terrified.
Yeah?
Yes.
Are you a little...
Didn't sleep all last.
Were you in the potty a little bit?
Yeah. I was
trying to... shaking. Yeah. All right.
It's going to be back.
It's good. We've missed you so. So we're talking this season about some of our approaches to doing this sustainability and energy work. We call them our principles: interdisciplinary, holistic, unbiased expertise, ROI-driven, and transparent are the 5. This episode and the next couple are going to be talking about our holistic approach. And the way that we think about this is, in order to have the biggest and best impact, you have to have the strategy and you have to have the on the ground tasks and tactics. And you've got to be able to draw distinct lines and threads between the two. And only having people doing tasks in service of what is a problem, and only having a great strategy with the folks doing the tasks not connected to it also is suboptimal. And so we're bringing this strategic and tactical approach to our work and to our clients. And we've got some good case studies and success stories of how that has shown up. And Matt is going to jump in and tell us one.
Yeah, so we had a conversation with a large building product manufacturer here in the States, and they're building a new factory, and they've made a commitment to the science-based target initiatives and carbon neutrality by, I think, 2030. But they didn't really have a plan, as most people don't, how to actually do that.
Oh, yeah.
And they had their internal sustainability team, and they were kind of driving this bus a little bit. But there was like, it quickly became apparent there's some disconnect between, internal language and around like sustainability as a whole, and like boots on the ground folks that are charged with project managing like these new facilities.
Yeah, the person who set the net zero goal is not the person who has to build the new factory.
Yeah, right. And so, one of my curiosities right out of the gate was like, well, what do you mean by net zero? And to Pat's point, like we had that curiosity because we've actively done projects with multiple different definitions of net zero for several of our clients, right? So we knew that there wasn't a standard universal definition of net zero. And so I was like just asking them, like, what do you mean? And they kind of repeated what they thought they understood. And I'm like, you understand that there are lots of different standards, net zero standards and definitions to aim for that will impact your strategy, right? So and so what we did is we kind of like level set, like, hold on, before we just go all in, let's just take a minute and level set around these definitions. And so we just basically did an exercise of helping them understand all the different net zero definitions, who's authoring them, why are they authoring them, right? What position are they in the marketplace? How are they different from each other? And what it means to you as a person that's looking to build a new facility charged with trying to get to net zero. Like, there's cost implications associated in addition to these strategies, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it was this like really kind of neat little exercise we did quickly for them to just kind of like, okay, now we understand what net zero definition is most impactful to you as an organization. We have collective understanding, shared buy-in, and now we can execute effectively. And the kind of result of that work was like a feasibility for that specific brand or that specific definition of net zero for their facility. And without that sort of holistic sort of approach out of the gate, we could have gone down a very different rabbit hole that didn't ultimately meet their goals or hit their objectives. So
we see this theme pop up a lot. And for those of you who work in sustainability or at companies and are watching this, I'm hypothesizing, resonate. It's one thing to like sign up for a standard or a certification.
Yeah.
It's another thing to understand how the philosophical underpinnings of that standard or certification adhere to or align with your company's values. And these are not always the same thing. And sometimes, to Matt's point, if we're not proactive right out of the gate, they can sometimes be counterproductive if we're not intentional right out of the gate. So anyways, a really good story and an example of how a holistic approach drove a lot of benefit to the customer. So thank you very much, Matt. And we'll see you next time for another example. I think Mike's got one.